We're back at the Coliseum as Coco Crisp and the Oakland A's come to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. Let's check out the Athletics. Starting nine, it is Coco Crisp in center field getting it started. Got a home run in game one. Stephen Drew bats second and short. Yoenis Cespedes in left field bats third. Brandon Moss at first base in the cleanup spot, 1 for 7 so far in the series. Josh Reddick in right. Josh Donaldson is at third base. Seth Smith is the DH out of the 7th spot, with the youngster Derek Norris doing the catching. He bats 8th, and Cliff Pennington at second base bats 9th. Anibal Sanchez on the mound for the Tigers, who joined them on July 23rd as a deal coming along with Omar Infante. Ready to go here tonight in game 3.
He has been great over his last 8 starts here. See his record for the year, 9-13, but don't get fooled by that record. He's pitched very well for the Tigers over those last 8 starts. The only bad start he had was against this A's ball club on September 20th.
It is the first time that he has pitched in the majors with an American League team, spending his first 6+ seasons in the bigs with the Marlins. This is popped up foul, backing out of play. Laird gives it a look, but back into the seats.
Take a look at the scouting report. Anibal Sanchez has to pitch on the edges, and he can do it with multiple pitches. He has a boatload of pitches. He can work to both sides of the plate. And he's got mound presence. He understands that he's going to dictate the tempo of this game.
Through the right side into right field, a base hit. Coco Crisp is on to begin the A's first inning.
And you can see he held the ball, just making sure that he would freeze Crisp at first.
Drew takes one wide for ball 1. Stephen Drew, spending his first 6 seasons with the Diamondbacks. Arizona's #1 pick, 15th overall in 2004. Came to the A's from Arizona on August the 20th. Check on Crisp, who's back to the bag at first.
Coco is 39 for 43 in steals this season. He's got a pretty good feel for how to get a jump against Sanchez.
In the air down the left field line, on the run goes Andy Dirks, but that'll end up near the bullpen and into the seats. First row. Nice catch.
Very enthusiastic crowd here at this ballpark, and they really support their team. And this team's got a lot of character, and I think the crowd really bought into it. And this ball club, as we mentioned, winning 50 games in this ballpark, 50-31 for the season.
There's not another ballpark that I've been to where they tailgate as early as they do here in Oakland. They're out there at noon for a 6 o'clock game. 1-1 pitch, he'll miss, and it's 2-1.
Stephen Drew came over to the Athletics to shore up the defense first and foremost, but also now he's sitting in the 2 spot in the order. Presence that Bob Melvin is very familiar with. Melvin was the manager of the Diamondbacks. Stephen Drew played for the Diamondbacks, and Drew's infield coach was Chip Hale, who was the third base coach here with the Athletics. So when he was traded, it was a pretty comfortable setting. Chip Hale and Bob Melvin know him very well, and they like the fact that he's a stabilizer on the infield.
Played in only 86 games last year after suffering a season-ending injury. Broken ankle. Was badly broken sliding into home plate in July of last year, and still not 100% even in the postseason this year. Full count with Crisp at first base. Nobody out here for the A's. There goes Coco. The pitch is going to miss. It's ball 4. First and second for the A's. Cespedes 3 for 8 so far in the series. Seeing his regular season numbers. First year in the majors. Ball 1.
Again, we made the point of Sanchez having to work to the edges, and he's not getting those borderline calls early. That's going to be a problem for the Tigers. And you can see Sanchez talking to Infante saying, you know, that looked like a strike. Jeff Johns, the pitching coach, very concerned early on. If the A's can force Sanchez over the heart of the plate, that's when they can do some damage. And remember, this Athletics team hit more home runs than anybody in the majors in the second half of the season. So far in this series, not very productive. But this is their third game, and they've got to be a little more relaxed and confident now.
Cespedes to foul it back. The 11th Cuban-born player in Oakland history signed a 4-year, $36 million contract with the A's on March 3rd. And Bob Melvin said that the first time he saw him in spring training, he knew what kind of player he was going to be. And a big part of this A's team, certainly offensively, right in the middle of it all year long. 1-1 is up the middle and into center field. Coco Crisp being waved around, and the A's strike first on top 1-0. Still nobody out in the first inning. Two on, nobody out, run in for the Athletics. Brandon Moss, 1 for 7 in the series. 21 home runs during the regular season. Moss third on the A's in home runs despite playing in only 84 games during the regular season. Moss didn't make his debut until June the 6th. .51 games at AAA Sacramento. And he fouls it to the screen. 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Anibal Sanchez.
Don, you mentioned this ball club playing so well at home. They won their final 6 home games, including sweeping the Rangers to wrap up the West. Got a lot of confidence here. Bob Melvin knows that the power they have now is totally different than what they had early in the season, and they can turn a game around in a heartbeat.
Swing and a miss. Another fastball at 93 from Sanchez. Sanchez not allow more than 3 earned runs in each of his last 4 road starts with the Tigers. He's given up a run here in the first. That is strike 3. Moss takes it, and that's out number 1 of the inning.
Now, this is what Sanchez can do when he gets zeroed in. That's that 2-seam fastball that starts off the plate and catches the inside corner. Let's look at the pitch sequence to Brandon Moss. They miss away with that 2-seam fastball and then get the foul back on a 4-seamer upstairs. Another 4-seamer, and he swings right through it. And then that swing back 2-seamer that starts off the plate inside and moves and catches the inside corner.
1 down for Josh Reddick. Reddick will take you down and in. 1 for 7 so far in the series for Reddick. Another start in right field and terrific numbers in his first year with a chance to play on an everyday basis. 32 home runs, 85 runs batted in for the A's. On the ground towards second, Infante was second for 1 on to first. That's 2, and that's big for the Tigers. They get out of the inning with minimal damage, but the Oakland A's jump on top 1-0.